We all have one decision we wish we could take back. The one that seemed small in the moment but ended up rewriting everything. For me, it was a single instruction: sell. I wasn't thinking long term. I just wanted the pain to stop. I wanted to breathe again. So, I sold a stock at 11 naira 55 kobo, thinking I was cutting my losses. A few months later, that same stock jumped to 98 naira 40 kobo. The numbers hurt, but the deeper wound was realizing I hadn't just lost money, I had lost perspective. The biggest lesson I've ever learned about investing didn't come from a seminar or a financial guru. It came from one emotional decision and what it revealed about fear, patience, and wisdom. Toward the end of this video, I'll share 7 timeless principles I distilled from that painful moment. Lessons that changed how I see investing, patience, and even life itself. It was 2023, a year that tested everything I thought I knew about money and patience. I remember that season clearly. Everything inside me felt stretched thin. I wasn't just broke in my account, I was broke in hope. Every missed call felt like another reminder that I owed someone something. Every bank alert that came in, instead of comfort, reminded me how little was left. I wanted relief, and I wanted it fast. Then one evening, my younger brother came into town. He mentioned he was planning to sell some of his shares to fund a project. At first, it sounded like a normal conversation, but in my mind, a thought flashed. Wait, don't I also have shares I can sell? That night, I let desperation drive, and wisdom had to take the back seat. I wasn't thinking about strategy or timing. I just needed a way out. The following day, I sent an email to my stockbroker, the same way we had always done it back then. I asked, which of my stocks can I sell to raise some quick cash? After a few minutes, my broker sent a list. Some stocks I could sell partly, others I would need to let go completely. Owando was one of them. At that moment, I wasn't thinking about long-term value or timing. I just wanted the pain to stop. So, I gave the instruction: sell. That stockbroker of mine wasn't a financial advisor. He was just doing his job, executing my instruction. But that simple transaction would soon teach me one of the most expensive lessons of my life. When it comes to money, don't just follow who can trade, follow who truly knows the road. When the credit alert came in, I finally exhaled for the first time in weeks. There was cash in the account again, and for a brief moment it felt like peace. But it was the kind of peace that comes not from clarity, but from escape. That single decision, made in fear, not wisdom, became one of the most defining lessons of my investing journey. Barely 10 months later, I wasn't even thinking about that stock. Life had moved on, or so I thought. Then one afternoon, during a casual chat with a friend who knew the markets better than I did, she mentioned the company's name, and then she said it. 98 naira 40 kobo. I blinked, certain I had misheard. Wait, what did you just say? She repeated it casually, like it was nothing. But to me, it wasn't just a number. It was the echo of a choice I had already made. The stock I sold for 11 naira 55 kobo. That single figure hit harder than any loss I had ever felt. 98 naira 40 kobo. 752% gain in 10 months. That wasn't just profit missed. That was a big lesson stamped deep into my chest. That it wasn't the market that failed me. It was my impatience, my ignorance, my desperation that made me cash out early. It was my fear that failed me. Fear disguised as urgency. That single sale order kept echoing in my mind for weeks. The kind of thoughts that won't just leave you alone. But after a while, the noise began to fade. The shock turned into quiet reflection. And in that quiet space, when the noise of regret finally faded, something unexpected happened. 2 verses I had once read from the Bible rose in my heart like light breaking through clouds. The first, much food is in the fallow ground of the poor, but for lack of justice it goes to waste. The second, there is desirable treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it. Those words didn't come to condemn me, they came to confront me. They weren't a mirror meant to shame me, but to show me. So I kept asking, what was my fallow ground? What treasure had I been wasting, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? Then I prayed, Lord, open my eyes. Show me what I am missing, what I am overlooking. Show me who and what I am underestimating. Teach me wisdom, not just wealth. And slowly he did. He began to open my eyes to treasures I had overlooked, treasures buried right in my own yard. The first treasure was my remaining portfolio. Some of the stocks I hadn't touched for years had quietly grown 245%, 730%, even over 1,000%. Not millions, but meaning and proof. Proof that patience pays. Proof that time, not timing, builds wealth. Compounding had been working for me quietly, even while I was ignorant of it. The second treasure was my father's legacy. He passed in 2021, but left behind something I didn't fully appreciate until then: his ledgers. From 1979, he had handwritten every stock purchase, every dividend received, every company he believed in. Each line in those old notebooks wasn't just financial data. It was discipline. It was consistency. It was faith in process. He didn't preach wealth. He documented it. As I ran my fingers across those faded pages, I could almost hear a silent sermon. Time and wisdom are the greatest investors of all. That experience humbled me deeply. It taught me that owning shares isn't the same as owning wisdom, and that financial growth must always begin with personal growth. After that season of regret, I made a decision. I wouldn't chase returns anymore. I would chase understanding. Instead of hunting for the next big thing, I enrolled in a virtual class on financial fitness and investing. Modules, mentors, market psychology. It was overwhelming at first, but that discomfort was sacred. It meant growth had begun. Before now, I used to check stock prices every day. anxious, restless, as if my refresh button could somehow control the market. But not anymore. Now, I focus on principles because wealth doesn't reward panic, it rewards patience. And even though my portfolio isn't perfect yet, my peace is priceless. I'm not speaking to you today as an expert or a guru. Far from it. I am a work in progress, still learning, still growing, still discovering what it truly means to build wealth with wisdom. Every mistake refines me, every lesson shapes me, and this channel, this journey is not about perfection, it is about progress. So, if you're watching this and you've made financial mistakes, you're in good company. This isn't a classroom where I teach and you listen. It's a journey we walk together. We learn and learn again, and if we stumble, we rise again. If I could distill everything that painful experience taught me, it would be this. 1. Investing isn't a sprint, it is a marathon. 2. Emotions are your worst financial advisors. 3. Hype fades, but due diligence endures. 4. Every failure carries a seed of wisdom if you are humble enough to learn. 5. It's never too late to plant. The best time was years ago. The next best time is now. 6. Treasure hides in plain sight. In your past lessons, your remaining portfolio, in your mindset. And 7. The biggest mistake doesn't disqualify you, it deepens you. These 7 principles have become the foundation of how I now think about money. They also remind me of something deeper, that wealth is built within before it ever shows without. Pain becomes purpose when you pause to understand it, and regret loses its power the moment you learn from it. That one mistake, selling too soon, chasing relief, acting in haste, taught me something golden and priceless. It taught me patience, it taught me perspective, and it reminded me that real wealth in investing isn't about timing the market. It is about time in the market. It is about trusting the process, learning continuously, and letting wisdom, not worry, do the compounding. If this story helped you see your money choices in a new light, hit that like button. Share this video with someone still healing from a bad financial decision, and subscribe for more lessons that bridge wisdom and wealth. We are building a community of learners, not experts, people who believe that growth begins with humility and ends with legacy. And remember, plant the seed of wisdom today, and you will surely reap the harvest of abundance tomorrow. And until I come your way again, keep your mind curious and your wealth intentional.